Bonjour à tous and welcome back to Frenchify with the French Dude. Unlocking Fluency with Coach Sam. Have you ever learned a word like comment vous allez? But then when a native speaker put them together and you hear comment allez-vous, it sounds strange to you, like where did the extra sound come from? That, my friend, is what we call la liaison. It's the glue of French language. Today, we are breaking down the invisible bridge that turns choppy French into smooth melodic flow we all love. Let's dive in. Allons-y. A liaison happens when a word ending in a silent consonant is followed by a word starting with a vowel or a silent H. Suddenly, the silent letter wakes up and joins the next word. But be careful, some letters changes their personality when they wake up. For instance, S or X changes to Z, that's the bruising Z, and we have les enfants. Now D changes to T, and we have grand tamin. T remains as T, and we have c'est ici. And N remains as N, and we have un homme. Okay, so we have three types of liaison in French. We have the mandatory liaison, which is liaison obligatoire. We have forbidden liaison, which is liaison interdite. And we have optional liaison, which is liaison facultative. The mandatory liaison, the determiner can be in the singular form, in the plural form, or numeral. The liaison is mandatory between the determiner and the adjective. For instance, we have un admirable officier. So we say un admirable officier. The liaison is mandatory in French between the determiner and the noun. So we have des enfants. So we say des enfants. Let's see more sentences where the French liaison is required. So the French liaison is required after a singular determiner. The liaison is mandatory with a singular determiner such as un, aucun, mon, ton, son. For example, we have un amin. So we say un amin. We have mon appel. So we say mon appel. After a plural determiner, the liaison is mandatory with a plural determiner such as les, eux, mes, tes, ces, quels, certains, différentes, divers, quelques, and plusieurs. For instance, we have les oiseaux. So we say les oiseaux. Eux envireux. So we say eux envireux. And after numeral, the liaison is mandatory with the French numeral. For instance, we have 2, 3, 20, 100. Now you can find it in word like centons. So we say centons. 3 abeilles. 3 abeilles. So mandatory liaison after a pronoun between the subject pronoun and the following verb. Example are on, nous, vous, il, and elle. So you can find it in on aime. On aime. Ils attendent. Ils attendent. So you need to correctly pronounce the liaison, otherwise you won't hear the difference between the il, that's the ils aiment, and the il aime. Now, after a complement pronoun, the liaison is required in the French when the preceding pronoun is the direct or indirect object of the verb. For instance, you can find it in elle vous adore. So we say elle vous adore. Also, you can find it in il nous appelle. Il nous appelle. You can find it in je les attends. Je les attends. Alright? So with the pronoun en, and you can find it in j'en ai besoin. So we say j'en ai besoin. And you can find it also in il en a pris. So we say il en a pris. So the liaison is required between an adjective and the following noun. For example, we have de longues études. So we say de longues études. Un premier étage. Un premier étage. Un grand avantage. Un grand davantage. The liaison is also required after a verb. That's between the verb in the imperative and the following on or e. So you can see it in prends-en. So we say prends-en. Or you can find it also in vas-y. So we say vas-y. The liaison is also mandatory between the inverted subject and the verb in the interrogative form. For instance, you can see it in ont-il réussi. So we say ont-il réussi. Or you can find it in que mange-t-elle. So we say que mange-t-elle. Also, you can find it with impersonal verb, just like il est and c'est. And for instance, you can find it in il est évident. Il est évident. Or you can find it in c'est amusant. C'est amusant. Also, it is mandatory after a monosyllable word. For instance, you can find it in adverb like très, trop, bien, plus or moins. Below are few examples in which the liaison is required. For instance, you can see it in troporo. So we say troporo. Bien amusé. Bien amusé. Très intéressant. Très intéressant. So you can also find it in plus occupé. Plus occupé. So after a monosyllabic preposition like dont, des, on, son, and chez, for instance, you can find it in chez elle. So we say chez elle, or you can find it in dans un instant. So we say dans un instant, or you can find it in sous un arbre. So we say sous un arbre. So the liaison is mandatory within a fixed expression. So you can find it in quand est-ce que tu arrives? So we say quand est-ce que tu arrives? Or you can find it also in comment allez-vous? So we say comment allez-vous? Below is a few expression also. So we see it in de plus en plus. So we say de plus en plus. De temps en temps. De temps en temps. Avant-hier. Avant-hier. De mieux en mieux. So we say de mieux en mieux. And you can also find it in aux États-Unis. So we say aux États-Unis. Then you can find it in petit à petit. So we say petit à petit. Or you can also find it in c'est-à-dire. So we say c'est-à-dire. Or you can also find it in tout à l'heure. Tout à l'heure. So now for the forbidden, do not breach this or it sounds quite wrong. After the word a, which is and, so never say toi et and try to do a liaison. No, c'est faux. And before H aspiré, so we do not say l'héros, so we say le héros. Or after a singular noun, for instance, le chat est clair, so we do not say le chat est clair. Now for number 3, the optional. Now this is where you get to choose your vibe. In formal setting of poetry, speaker use more liaison. In casual street French, we skip most of them, and sometimes it's choice, it's optional. For instance, you can say c'est incroyable, or you can say c'est incroyable. So it's your choice. Okay? So to master the liaison, don't just memorize the list. Listen, watch French movie, listen to podcasts, and notice where the sound melts together. Now for your homework. In the comment section, write one phrase where a liaison is mandatory. I will go through and grade them with an A. Merci d'avoir regardé. Don't forget to subscribe and like, comment for more French tips. À la prochaine!